Okay, so good morning, everyone. For Miracle of Thinking class, week 7 today. Since I suggest you guys to watch the videos last week, this week we will practice on using the thinking tools and using the idea selecting tools. Okay? And with that, you could use the same product that you used last week, okay, to develop the product force or the developed product. And I will also inform about the final assignment for this module. And the activity to be submitted on the LEB2 today will be the activity assigned, which I will inform you about it as well. For the week 8 and week 9 will be consult, okay. I will make a folder for you guys to submit your draft of final assignment, and I will schedule the time with you guys to discuss about your work. And for week 10 gonna be the presentation and learning reflection. Okay. For the final assignment, it will be 15 points, and also the presentation will be 5 points. And we're gonna have break from April 1st to April 16th. Okay, so that's the overall. Let's get into the activity assignment today. And to recapitulate on the video, there are video on thinking tools such as mind mapping, SCAMPER, what if, anything else, random word, and also idea selecting tools such as pro and con, consequence matrix, must criteria, and want criteria. There are also video on concept, okay, taught by Ajahn Chayaporn. For the recapitulate on the lesson on concept creation, I will recap with you guys in a bit. And for this part, I already mentioned about that, that you will have opportunity to practice on using the tools. Okay, for the concept, I hope many of you already watch it. Okay, I will recapitulate in like short form. Okay, so for the concept, Ajahn Chayaporn mentioned about design concept, including logo for product. Okay. He gave example of Terminal 21. I think many of you have been there. It's a mall, right? That decorate with different place of the world. Okay, for example, one of the floor decorate as a USA, San Francisco, okay, Pier 21, Golden Gate Bridge, and also they decorate the restroom as well. He gave example of watch. The brand Rolex, okay, have different design. The one for pilot that you can change the time zone. I just learned from this video that that's for changing the time zone. I didn't know that. I just like to turn it around. Okay. And he mentioned that the red hand is the normal time. I'm not sure this one, but it's like a reference time. And they decide a watch for submarine as well. You could estimate the time for the oxygen in the tank that have left. Okay, and they also developed the watch that could prevent the magnetic wave. And during the design, they're also thinking about the beauty, which is the part that we could visualize. The watch for Explorer, the watch that could have a stopwatch, or the racer, car racer. We gave example of the bag. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Free tag that made from like the material that was used for the car, okay, to cover the car, or the material from seat belt, okay. We also mentioned about the concept in culture, such as in the bird paradise, the colorful bird, and related to how we dress, okay. He also mentioned about Amazon, okay. They have product A to Z zebra, okay, and they have product like using the alphabet, okay. A, they have different things for A. And the theme is that when the customer receive the product, they happy and have a smile on their face. Okay, so that's like recapitulate on this video. For more detail, you could also revisit the video. Okay. For the definition of the concept, we decide a concept from various elements, then put together as one. Like, okay, we select this concept, that concept, and those concepts. Then we combine it together, okay, into the unique product or service. For example, here, Cafe Amazon. Some of you have been there already. They emphasize on environmental conservation. They use the concept of circular living by recycling leftover stuff, such as their table and shelf made from coffee pulp, their staff shirts and apron, the one that we wear when we cook, are made from recycled PET, polyethylene tetrate, water bottle, and glass fibers. And for their bio cup and straw made from biodegradable PLA, lactic acid plastic. And their raw material from villagers in Pranakon, Ayutthaya, and other provinces to make special drink menu. Okay, so that is one of the example of their concept. The other example is the egg white brand. This is the new furniture brand. Okay, so they focus on design, sustainability, and beauty as well, function as well. For example, on the left here is the side table. So they decided people can access the table from both sides. Okay. They usually put next to the bed. And for this table, they got inspiration from the Sleeping Beauty. The mirror here, this part, or like when you wanna put makeup or you wanna look at yourself. Okay, this table give you that opportunity to. And for the drawer part, they were inspired by the single sewing machine. They have many drawers to keep thread, some equipment to be used with the sewing machine. You guys could take a look at their website as well if you are interested in their furniture. The concept for design. This means the idea that determines the direction of designing something. So there are many ways to create concept, and I provide example here. First, you could think from the design goals. What are your goals, such as the usage of it or the beauty of it? Think from the belief or philosophy or symbol. Think from the selling point of the brand, the theme of the brand. Okay, this brand, we want it to look like formal, something. Okay. And the design goal. Okay, so for concept, we could categorize into function and beauty. Okay. Example of function, this sofa, you could see that you could sit only two people, or you could move it out, you could put your leg, or could be other people sitting here. So there are different ways of using this furniture, and must be designed to sit comfortably and not causing pain. Okay. For the beauty part, okay, we could notice the beauty aesthetic of products. It's refer to the aesthetic refer to the way a product looks and feels. Each person may have different perception about beauty and satisfaction. Appropriate composition can build beautifulness, meaning that with some design composition and also feedback from the customer as well, we could reach the goals. Okay, for the activity assignment, recapitulate on thinking tools, okay, from the video, right? It could help reduce the possibility for us to jump to conclusion. Okay. The important skill is researching for the fact and information before conclude the topic. In the video mentioned about divergent thinking, which is creating choice, is the process to brainstorm and come up with varieties of ideas. And after that, we could making choice, which called convergent thinking. It's like converge, รวม in Thai. This process to analyze and a product by comparing pros and cons of each idea, prioritizing the needs and want. This process lead to decision making on product development. Okay, we can go this direction. Okay, here, as I mentioned, for this activity, you could start from the project that you select last week, okay, and develop. Since you already design by using imagination, right? So I mentioned that you don't have to worry whether your imagination could be possible to be done, implement or not. But for this week, I suggest you guys to practice design a new product by using thinking tools and idea selecting tools. So for this part, you could practice using the tools as a group, or you could start on your individual work. Okay, I recommend to start individual work so you could know whether you be able to use the tools, you understand the tools. And I encourage you guys to like raise your hand and ask if you don't understand how to use the tools. Okay. I will I will recapitulate on the tools first and provide some example before I let you guys start on the work. For SCAMPER, okay. The big picture of it is to creating potential solutions from the set of questions. So there are sets of questions for you guys to like think about it and what could be the potential solution for it. Okay. S stand for substitute here. Okay. And C stand for combine. A stand for adapt. M stand for magnify or minify. Magnify is like increase it or change something to improve it or make it more acceptable. Minify could be like less extreme. Okay, you could modify the size. Okay, make it thinner, smaller, or make it the monitor. For example, if iPad, you may want it big. Okay, so that's one magnify. P put together. Okay. E eliminate and R rearrange. Okay. For the definition detail here, you could revisit it later. Example of question. So I provide example of question here. I give couple example. Then let's say substitute. Could we modify the process or procedure? Okay. Let's say put to other use. Could we expand target market? For example, young adult, elderly. Depend on the function of the product as well. Eliminate. Could we simplify the process? Rearrange or reverse. Could we change the step of launching the product? Could we change the position of the product in this window display? Window display is, for example, you go to the mall and you see the mannequin or the model wear different dress and holding back. Yeah, that's the window display. Okay. This part I plan to explain all the tools first. I will let you guys decide whether you will work as a group on practicing the tools or you would like to start as an individual. Okay. This template is the template for SCAMPER. I also have a Canva template which I will send to you guys as well. You guys could add the text box to type into the template. This is the example of using SCAMPER to develop washing machine. Okay. For example, here, substitute. Replace electricity with human labor by bike ride. Okay, so this is the substitute. Or combine washer and dryer in one machine. Make the machine smaller for a small family. Automatic detergent adding system put to other use. Okay. Eliminate. Reduce amount of button to 2 to 3 button. Okay. So when you use the tools, try to have at least like 3 different topics and try to have at least around, let's say like 9 ideas. Okay, for you to be able to using ideas, selecting tools to analyze which idea you're gonna use. The other tool is what if. Okay, they provide the set of questions as well. For example, opposite, scarcity or abundance, extreme simplicity, crazy or weird idea. Okay. Example, this is the template. Okay, and the example of using this tool. If I again use for the washing machine, the opposite question could be, what if it can move? What if it is lightweight? The washing machine. Okay. Right now, I could not move it. I mean, I could move, but I could not lift it. What if the washing machine can be used without water? That's the scarcity. What if the washing machine can be used with other source of energy, such as mechanic from human labor? Extreme simplicity. What if we could press a button, then the machine could operate? What if the machine could wash and dry consecutively? Crazy and weird idea. What if the machine is a robot that has a hand to wash the cloth? So instead of like a box. What if the machine could become invisible when it is not in use? Okay. So here are like example of question that we could get the potential solutions. Okay. The other two is random word. Okay. There are steps to do the random word here. First, select the product. Then write down the theme and the topic. And also outline and write the constraint. What are the constraints? After that, we could select a word. or phrase that is not related to the topic, and you also could randomly select from a dictionary as well. After that, you generate idea related to the word. The last part is to integrate the idea to the product. So here, that is the reason why outline and constraint are important. So you list out what you want to design about the product. For example, the shape, the texture, or the process of using the product. This is a template, and this is here we could use the random word for. Here the product is washing machine, outline and constraint. I would like to decide the texture and color of the washing machine. I also would like to decide the machine operating system. And you could also have other outline and constraint for this method as well. Okay. And the word that I select here is rock. When I think about the word rock, I think about its hole. When I touch it, it could have lock sliding, which is then plus even a big rock. And it's hard, it's rough, it's heavy. It is the big one. With that, I integrate the idea to the product. The texture of washing machine is rough, which is similar to the texture of rock. The color is black, which can be decorated as a part of a garden in the house. The machine operating system is continuous, like sliding, continue. The machine operates the washing and drying process consecutively, like a sliding or flow. So here is how we could use random word. Something that I noticed about random word is that we could have limited integrated idea into the product. So I would recommend you guys to either have list of outline constraint more than 2. This could be like 4. But if it's really challenging, you could also consider using random word with other tools as well. I have heard that in the past, some people use random word for creating their topic for designing, and then they use other tools for coming up with solutions. That's example. Idea selection tools. This is like shifting the gear. Earlier is the tools to create ideas, or I call it thinking tools. Right now, we shift into idea selection tools. Once we have many ideas, which idea we're gonna use? Okay. So for this one, there are different tools. For example, you could use intuition and provide reason for each idea. In my opinion, it's similar to pro and con. Like, okay, I don't want to use this idea because I want to use this idea because. We could use consequence matrix, or we could use must criteria and wants criteria. Okay, and then for example of the idea selecting tools, here is the example of pro and con. Okay. There are example of question for pro and con too. Let's say here, for pro, what is the benefit of their product? What are the benefits of product? What are the advantages compared to other product or other idea actually for this one? For pro and con, you need to use it for every idea that you come up with, okay, in order to compare, right? Okay, this idea or that idea, which idea gonna pass? Strengths of that idea, the value, risk and danger. I have read that risk is like something that prevents us from here to the goal that we plan. Disadvantage, weakness, and problem. This could relate to safety as well. Recently, I have saw the news that the food company have the LPG gas explosion. This is the example of must criteria and want criteria. For the must criteria, each the idea that will going to the want criteria need to pass it. Okay. Example of criteria A, it along with the policy company policy. Okay. It support the company policy. It support the strategy of the company policy. It is safe to be implemented. It passed the law related to the product processing. It within the budget, okay, the set budget, and it can be implemented either by yourself or by the team. If it passes this criteria, then that idea could go into the one criteria. Whether it could support customer need, it could expand the market, target market, is have the implementation of creativity. It could expand into different business categories, or building the brand of the company, and whether it could support the sustainability policy. Okay, nowadays very encouraging to support the sustainability. Okay, sustain in Thai ยั่งยืน เนาะ and then you could rank it. Okay, this is meet has the highest score. It meet the one criteria. Okay, so I will go with this idea, and maybe I go with the second idea as well. Okay, could be implemented. Okay, this is the example. This is the example of consequence matrix. In the videos also have example on it as well. Okay, so here I would like to point out, let's see, we could start with quick win. There are available technology already, okay, and our resource to implement the idea. So it's easy to implement, and it also have high impact. That's why we name it quick win. Okay. For the breakthrough is the idea that need research and development, meaning that the technology or resource is still in the developing process. If the idea have been implemented, it could disrupt in business, such as when we have smartphone, right? It disrupt the earlier version of phone. Project has moderate impact, moderate implementation. We could schedule the plan, the due date of researching, and follow up on the result. For the low priority, the idea that need research and development, there might not be available technology or resource, and it also have low impact. That's why we name it low priority. Okay. So here are the meaning of each metric. Okay. So we have like this question: how does this product have positive impact on who? We could also ask ourselves. So I encourage when you use this metric, consequence metric, you could try to write the process of how you think. Okay, this one, it could impact the target group, and it's already have available technology, or it's still in the research and development process. Okay. Okay, this is the example of combining the thinking tools to create ideas, and then using the idea selecting tools. Okay, so this one I just bring it from the previous page on what if. Okay, so this one you can see that I have these 9 ideas here. After that, I've used consequence matrix to analyze it. Okay, so for I use the number. If it on the same page, it will be easier. If it on different page, I could actually put the name of each number here. Yeah, this one a little bit difficult to see, but let me give example number 1. What if it can move? Okay, so I decided it is the easy implementation. The reason behind that because we have control car, we have control drone. In order to make something move, we already have the technology. With that, in my opinion, it's easy implementation. It have low impact because this is the washing machine. The main function is to wash the clothes. So in my opinion, it is low impact. Okay, let's see number 2. What if it is lightweight? Lightweight. In order to make washing machine lightweight, I put it into difficult implementation because it needs different part, right? It have the part of spinning, which usually we use like stainless steel to prevent the rust snim as well. So that's have carry some weight, and it need motor to rotate that spinning part, and it need lid to cover prevent spill. The water could contain in the machine body, right? So the one that I have at home is a glass. That's one heavyweight too. Okay. That's an example why I think it difficult to implement. The reason I put it high impact because every home, almost every home, have the washing machine, and if it light, then it can be placed in different place in the house too. Like it doesn't need to stick in that corner, and also easy when we transport it into our home. Okay, so that's my opinion there. It could be moderate impact too if I put in that word, because the function of washing machine is to wash, right? But the weight is actually not really the highest impact. Number 5, what if the washing machine can be used with other source of energy, such as using mechanic from human labor? So for this one, I put it into breakthrough, because we could reduce the electricity cost from using the washing machine. Okay. And we could also, this one is minor, but we could also exercise. For example, when we bike, right? It is still difficult to implement because we need to design the mechanic of how it could spin efficiently to wash our clothes. Okay. So that's the reason why I put it into the breakthrough part. And it is high impact because it's the main function of the washing machine, right? Is to wash. And this one is directly related to washing. 8. What if we could press a button, then the machine could operate? Okay. So this one, I put it into moderate implementation and moderate impact because it is related to the washing process. It could reduce the confusion. There are many buttons, which button I should use. Okay, so that's the reason I put it there. So here are example, okay, how we analyze and using this metric to help us selecting the ideas. Here are the idea that I select. There are 3 ideas here. I selected from the moderate impact and moderate implementation, and one of it is from the breakthrough. Okay, so I select the one we could press a button and then machine could operate. What if the machine could wash and dry consecutively? What if the washing machine can be used with other source of energy? The draft or collage here is the machine that has a button that the machine could, when we press it, it could operate. Okay, could be the part that adding the detergent into the machine. Washing machine can be used with mechanic from human labor. Okay, so human can ride it and it's spinning. Okay, which could save the electricity cost. The machine could wash and dry consecutively. Okay, this part we could decide the chemicals that help on reduce the wrinkle on the shirt. Okay, that's the selected concepts which are combining into the product development that I design. Okay, so here is the example of it. For the template, you could select the thinking tools that you would like to use. You could select the tools to help you select ideas. And you could write down the concept that you select. You could draft or could be collage. And you could write the part of it. What is it? Okay. So I saw some of your work on the palette. So I feel you guys like have many imagination on the concepts and pay attention to the detail on telling which part of the, for example, table. Okay, which part of the table help in which function. So you provide a function of the part. So I'm enjoy to be able to see you guys work. And you could write down the concept and detail of uniqueness. Could also write the process to use it as well. So that's the activity assigned. Okay, is the similar template here. Apply creative thinking tools to come up with as many concepts as possible for the first product. Tools to help you select idea, and then okay, there are 2 different templates. Okay, on the LEB2 have this template for you guys to download as a PDF or as a PowerPoint. I create a Canva file which I will send in the chat for you guys to use. Okay. And for this one, I just show different tools. You don't have to use all 4, okay? I think 1 or 2 should be enough. Okay. And the evaluation criteria based on the learning outcome for the generating idea. generate many ideas that are different, revealing that students try to think from different perspectives until ideas become the unique concept. So this part I mentioned earlier that try to think at least like 3 different perspectives and try to have at least like 9 ideas. So that was my mention earlier. Okay. For B, the product concept is not unique, meaning that it could be already implemented in the product nowadays. We could see the product already is available already. Okay. Digging deeper into idea or the part of using idea selecting tools. So you could analyze, organize, and assess to select ideas, which lead to the creation of many unique concepts, and then select again until the most unique concept is emerged. Okay. So I can see the process of when you selecting the ideas. The due date for this assignment is today before 11 p.m. Okay. I recommend you guys to practice doing it in the class. And if you have any question, you could raise your hand and we could discuss about it. You could share your screen too. So that's the activity assigned. Okay. For the final assign, let's see. You wanna take a little break before? I think we take a break a little bit and then I will come back to inform you guys about the final assign. Okay. Before I take a break, I will share the Canva link for you guys first. Okay. At this point, any question here? Let me off share the screen first and I send the link to you guys. Okay.